All right, guys, it's been a while. This is 10,000 miles on my 4BT SM 465 Chevy truck. I did a video of it a while ago. I've been real busy with work and whatnot. I've had a lot of people here recently ask me about the truck and whatnot. So this is as far as I got on the inside. Put the original door panel back on, but I'm gonna order some, and these are just hog rings to keep it so it's decent looking. My fan controller for the electric fan on this, I had to go with the Dakota Digital. It's a little pricey, but I'm extremely happy with it. It's not wired in all the way. Well, it's wired in all the way, just not placed in the best place. The issue I was having with it is I had one of those other ones that you could just buy at your local parts store, and it wasn't lasting. So I ended up doing a buddy of mine. He says that the Volkswagen TDI, their fan controller is a 70 amp. So I wired it into that, and it's all wired into that fan, which I think came out of a Ford. It's a 70 amp draw fan, so it was killing me. It came with the temperature sensor. I ran a factory style one for my gauge again, and so far I've had zero issues. And not that the truck needs it, because it truly doesn't even need a fan the way it's set up for whatever. I mean, I understand how it all works, but I needed it for my AC. I spent a lot of time and effort to get this AC system to work, and it blows roughly 38 to 40 degrees out of the vents, which to me is great. But I got it all fixed, and I've used it twice all summer. So summer's coming to an end. I normally unplug the compressor right here, and then I could use my defrost and whatnot, not run the clutch fan, the clutch on the AC. I've still been getting, I moved from where I lived before, and now I travel about 18 miles one way to work. I was getting 200 miles to a tank of fuel out of this, which it only fills up at 11.5. However, I fill it up at a quarter of a tank because it is diesel, and I just don't feel like running out. It's easier to fill it up than it is to run it out and fill up. Now that I'm traveling without any stoplights, it's roughly about 220 miles to a tank at 3/4 in my opinion. But the speedometer's off 0.2 of a mile. So if you do your math, it comes out that the truck's getting pretty good fuel mileage without any stop and go. However, when I turn the AC on, it still will drop the truck down. I drove it for a week with running the AC, and I get about 20 miles to a gallon out of it with the AC on every day, versus 20 something, low mid 20s. Underneath the hood, that is finally slowly deteriorating away. Not that this is the original hood to the truck, it came off a Suburban. A lot of people stop me and tell me how nice the truck is, and I tell them I really appreciate it. However, it's just my daily driver. I drive it every single day, and I have a brand new Jeep Rubicon, and I don't drive it every day. However, the bad spots, these have come up recently. So I've got here, after I got it out of the paint shop. Now, if you look at the paint on this, this is 1 year or 10,000 miles of driving it without, I wash and wax it. I've waxed it twice since I've got it out of the paint shop, and it's never been buffed or wet sanded. So in my opinion, looks pretty good. Those guys at Sexton Automotive in Oak Ridge, Tennessee did an amazing job. I told them I didn't want it perfect, and they kept it to the T. And then here's another spot that come up, so I'll get that fixed. I'm hoping this weekend. and the guys at the body shop, they're gonna take it in. The real bad spot for me, it really just irks me because I spent a lot of time and effort on it, is right here. You know, the truck didn't have hardly any rust except this spot when I did it. So I will cut that out, do it again. I've got all new weather stripping for it, but other than that and one paint chip from a rock before I put these 2015 or 16 F-150, what are they called? Oh, steps on here. I cut them down. I cut about 12 inches off. I wanted it basically so it quit throwing stuff on me from the tires, because I don't wash it. I'm not bragging, but this is how clean it stays in driving it every single day. I got me a drop hitch, and I tow with this truck. I purchased a 20-foot car hauler because I buy and sell Toyota pickups, and that's what I tow with it. I tow with it all the time, and I've had no issues. The only issue I've had with this truck is when that fan controller would crap out or the fuel injector lines. But in 10,000 miles, those are the only issues I've had with it. So, and like I said, had to redo the AC several times until I could get that fan controller dialed in, and that's why I went with the digital Dakota. I did do the off-road design shackles because the bushings on the inside took a crap, and that made the ride rough. When I'd hit the brake, it would just dart all over the place. So as soon as I saw that they went bad, I lowered it back down. A couple people noticed that the front's about an inch lower than the back, but I really don't care. Those bushings and shackles have made the ride in this unbelievable for a log wagon. I mean, it still rides like a log wagon. It's a short bed with some kind of lift on it, but it works, and it's my daily driver. This, I did a video on it several years ago. So if you see in the garage, there's my Jeep, which I never drive unless we go four-wheeling, which is crazy to me. This is my new project. I had a buddy of mine come over. We got the bed off, and if you see, it's on the car hauler over there. I did a video. You know, it was a big block truck with an automatic trans. It's time. You know, all I got left on the K10 is the interior, and have it repainted in them couple spots, and I'll be good to go. This one here has been sitting in a buddy of mine's field because I had to move it out of the shop we were at, and then I moved and life happened and blah blah blah. Well, it's time to get started again. It was full of wasps. I'm hoping that they're not there anymore. I've been letting it sit outside here at my house. Like I said, I got the bed off, got it somewhat cleaned. The motor, I think, fared well for sitting in a pasture for some time. So, like I said, this was a running, driving truck when I got it. If you can imagine that this truck is in better shape than that blue one there when I got it. So I did some wheeling and dealing. It's four-wheel drive. The front end's all been rebuilt by the previous owner. I'm ready to get started on it, guys. I hope you guys follow along and see how it comes out. Gentleman's asked me about the AC system. I'll do a good video on that when I put it on this motor. That motor's not far from getting started and fired up for the first time, but I'm a little ways off. I'm gonna pull the front clip off today, and I'm gonna bury it in the garage, the whole truck, so I can work on it. I've got an MV 4500 trans for it, and I'll have to run my 208 transfer case You know, I ask a lot of questions when I do stuff, and a lot of people thought that that little blue truck wasn't going to work, but it does, and it pulls just fine. So I asked a question to so many of these guys why this wouldn't work or why that wouldn't work, and why the 205 transfer case doesn't work on MV 4500 Chevy style. And this one here, I really lucked out. A buddy of mine owns a Chevy junkyard. Somebody had a deal for him, made it for me, and this worked. But if you look, this spline is the same as that spline. However, it hits too far in and it won't go on, and plus there's no indentation on this backside here. So for anybody that wants to know, that's why a 205 doesn't fit on the back of an MV 4500 transmission Chevy style. So, but I'll be getting the adapter for it, and that crew cab has a brand new clutch, everything. So I'm excited to get started on it. Like I said, it's gonna be a project, but like I said, I just gotta get it started for the first time, and once it's started, it'll go quick. That blue one went really quick. There were 3 of us working on it, but this one here, I think it'll be mostly just me, except when it comes to a point when I can't lift it. And you know, like when I took the bed off of it, the passenger side of the bed had been destroyed in a wreck at some point when it ripped the fender off. I got that whole bed off by myself. I had to have help to get the bolts undone, and then the next day I took the bed off with a cherry picker. And it sucked, but I did it. And you can do it yourself. I just didn't know what I was gonna do with it with the gravel, but I stood it up on its face and backed it up under the car hauler. So I dropped it on the car hauler and away I moved it. So I really want the dual tanks to work on this. My little brother's building a K10 long bed, but he did the Suburban fuel tank. Well, I can't do that because I need it to have the hitch. So I'm hoping to get both of these tanks working. Only one of them was working when I got it, and I think it's just that crossover piece or whatever you call it, to make the, you know, for the different tanks, that thing there. So I mean, all in all, it looks rough, but it'll clean up. That's it, guys. Like I said, I'm gonna get everything started. I really hope the videos will be a lot better once I get it in the garage and you guys can see me working on the motor. And so many people asked about that AC system, but I got it out of Oregon, somewhere in the Northwest, but I don't remember where. I've got the not the receipt, the packaging it came from. So I'll show you guys that in the next video before I put it on. Obviously my goal is to get that transmission back out and transfer case, get the MV 4500 in. I need to see if I can move that motor forward some. For some reason, this motor, it's the same 4BT as the other one, but it seems like I have to have it so much further forward than that one, and it looks like it's sitting further back in here. I can't hold the hood up real well because I got it all disassembled, but you'll see what I mean when I get it all taken off. I'll have the front clip off here shortly. So, all right, guys, like I said, this is the start of it. I'm hoping by this winter it should be sitting taller than that blue one when I get it back out of the garage. So, all right, subscribe. I'm not really sure how all this YouTube stuff works. I just make videos because so many people that I meet at the fuel stations, they keep telling me I need to do a video of this blue truck, and I drive it. And for all those people who said it wouldn't work, well, it does, and it works just fine. So, all right, till the next video. I should have one up here, have this one on, and then I should have a video of this one when it's Got the front clip off and in the garage under some real lighting, so I can see what all of a mess I got. All right, thank you guys. See you.